Hey, coming to you today and talking about the fifth item in the model, and that is values. Um, so, to kind of summarize where we've come from, we have the when, excuse me, the who, what, when, where, why, and it started out with the who being our identity, the what being our mission statement, the when being our timing, the uh, where being our vision, and now we're going to get into the why, which is, I believe, our values. I know that other leader coaches will talk about finding your why being that deep mission statement. I think the why is more about the why we do what we do than it is why we exist. I think that's our purpose, our mission. It's the what aspect of things. So, just to add some clarity or provide some clarity there, right now, I'm talking about the why in the sense of what are our values? Why do we do the things that we do? Why are we successful? Why are we failures? These are the essence of what drives the activity out of us. And if you were looking at the concentric circles where the IMTVV, we started with the identity, that's the core of who we are. And then we go to the M, the T, the V, and the V. We have 5 circles. Now we're going to get into the 6th and the 7th as well, or we're going to get into that 5th circle, which drives into the 6th and 7th, because the values drive behaviors, which in turn drive our results. So the point of all of this is you've got 7 factors here, all building upon each other, starting with the identity, who we are as a core. And it drives through the who, the what, the when, the where, the why. And we get to this baseline of why do we succeed or why do we fail? Why do we get the results that we do? And that why is based on your values. So the challenge today is to figure out your values. And I'm not talking about corporate values. That comes when you're doing this process for the corporation. And all 7 of these are principles that work in the corporate world as well as in the personal world. But as I've said before, in the leadership circles, we miss the idea that the leaders need to do this for themselves too. So, with that being said, I wanted to drive into figuring these out for yourselves. Now, there's a lot of ways to go about doing this. I know in my book that's coming out, I've got a list of sample values, but you got to think about the core things that you believe in, the core things that really drive who you are. And I think again, if we separate ourselves, do some meditation, think on these things, and really dive in, make sure they're leaning against your mission statement. They're not going against it. They're following through with your vision. But for me, when I sat down on the list of things, transparency is an important one for me. Responsiveness. I think that it is a leader's responsibility to be responsive, to not let emails sit, for days on end without responding or things like that. And really, that's just a matter of, because it's a core value, either I am going to resolve it, I'm going to be responsive, or I'm going to have something in place that makes sure I'm responsive. And that might be support, help, a team, all of those things. Responsiveness to me is a value. It's a core value of mine. I have this drive for a sense of urgency. So I think that urgency is a big element of who I am. Ownership. I really like the idea of driving the mindset of ownership, that when you touch something, you now are responsible or have an element of responsibility in it. And there's nothing wrong with taking that on and running with it. And there's so many others. But I would encourage you to pick about 5. You get too wide, you're going to have a problem. Just pick about 5. You can play with this in the sense that find synonyms, whatever, build an acronym out for you that works. You know, I was working out my acronym and everything. And that way it's just a single word that you can kind of recall all of these aspects. But it's important for you to know what your values are. And then, and this is the key, these next two things, your values drive your behaviors. And because your values are strong and because your values are positive, the reflective behaviors will be strong and will be positive. And then finally, that turns into results because those behaviors are towards your desired long-term goals, you know, physical ramifications of those goals, or manifestations of those goals. You're setting yourself up for long-term success by setting these foundational values that will drive behaviors and that will turn around and drive the results that you're looking for in your life. And then you can apply these same principles to your corporation. But ultimately, I think, as I've said previously, your corporation, your business entity is just that. It's an entity. It doesn't have a soul. Your people have a soul. So you're not developing values or the IMTVV for your corporation until you've developed them for your people. And when your people have developed them and they understand what their value is, they can turn around and spin that into the values for your organization, and you can drive your organization to success because it will drive the behaviors that you're looking for, which ultimately get you the results that you need. All right? Hopefully that was clear, and we'll talk to you soon on the next topic. Thanks.